Dinner is served. Okay.
I found your Krispies. Now you're talking. Sorry. Not really. We're making a hell of a mess. Joe, you're holding up the show. Let's go.
Okay, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's Winners Press Conference here at the 27th Annual Toyota Save Mart 350. Proud to be joined by our winning race driver, Kyle Busch, driver the number 18 M&M's Crispy Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. With the win today, Kyle has essentially clinched himself a spot in the grid for the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup.
Boy, that was the wrong thing to say. I don't think you used the right words in there, but I'll certainly use it against you.
With the win, Kyle has tied Kevin Harvick for 23rd on the all-time wins list. This is his first victory and second top 10 finish in 2015. His last victory was 35 starts, 46 races ago at Auto Club Speedway on March 23rd, 2014. It's his second victory and third top 10 here in 11 races at Sonoma Raceway. Kyle, tremendous run out there today. You gutted it out. Could you please take us through the final few laps as it looked like that victory was coming ever so closer, what it took to get you across the finish line?
Yeah, it was it was a fun race today. I actually had a lot of fun out there racing here at Sonoma. Normally, it's kind of a nightmare sometimes for us in this 18 team, but we had a great day today. Coming down pit road and the cautions flying as we were on pit road twice, that certainly is so beneficial at this racetrack. That just gives you such great track position and gets you out front. So that was a huge benefit, just being able to come down when we did and to be able to have that strategy work out for us was awesome. But, there at the end, our car was a really good short-run car. And when we had about 15 laps on our tires there before that final caution came out, and I figured, Adam figured it would be about 8 to go when we went green, that 15 we were past our prime. We needed to come in and get tires, and that was going to be our best chance to win the race. And I figured there was going to be a lot of guys that came behind us, but not as many as that did come. I didn't expect that many, so it gave us pretty good track position going back green. I think we were 7th, and Boyer was right in front of me. We had to pass him. He kind of got into it with the 20 a little bit and kind of got taken offline some, and that got by. That allowed us to get by him pretty quick. Getting into turn 3, and then off of 3A, I made another pass on somebody, and then maybe one more getting into 4. I'm not sure. And by then, I think I was 2nd. My sights were set on Jimmy. That was pretty cool. It was certainly happened real quick, and it gave us an opportunity for a win. Without that pit stop, we definitely wouldn't have been in that position. We would have been fighting off all the guys behind us, like Jimmy and those guys were. So. Great call by Adam Stevens, and great pit work by my team. All the guys on pit road did a great job today. And I can't say enough about this victory and my team and everyone from Joe Gibbs Racing, from Joe Gibbs to my team guys to the 11, the 19, and the 20 team. The chassis shop, body shop, fab shop, everybody that does so much to pull for me, that helped me and prayed for me to get me back in this race car, to get me here today was quite special.
Great. We're also joined here by crew chief Adam Stevens. Adam, this has been a tough season for the 18 team, a lot of adversity that you've dealt with. Talk about getting the car in a position to win today.
Yeah, we just tried our best in practice, and we had decent short run speed, and were able to show it on some mock runs, and not too bad in qualifying until we had a little slip up there, and man, it just fell off after maybe 15 laps, 20 laps for sure. So we kind of built our strategy around that, and we're able to catch some timely cautions and pay good attention there, and had some good fortune too, to be quite honest. And there at the end, it just kind of fell into the strategy that we wanted to run anyway, and we knew that we didn't have what we needed to outrun them on old tires, so it was a no-brainer call for me to come down and do everything we could to put him in a position where he could drive to the front.
Outstanding. Coach Joe Gibbs, owner of the number 18 M&M's Crispy Toyota, has also joined us. Coach, going into this season, you knew that this car was going to be strong enough to contend for a championship. You knew you had the driver, the team, the crew chief. Now to see it come here, coming into Sonoma, getting into Victory Lane, how important was that for you?
Well, I said I think it's a great sports story because if you think about Daytona and for Kyle, to come back from really a broken right leg and a broken left foot, the race that we were really worried about when he came back was this race because it was going to be obviously road racing. It takes a lot of pressure on your foot. And so I think it's a great story for us. Adam and our whole team, when he goes out, he had to go through all the things that we went through to get ourselves back to and keep ourselves as high as we could in points so that when Kyle comes back, we would have a shot. But we're thrilled to be a part of this. Adam made a great call, as always in this sport. It takes the pit crew, it takes everybody back home working on the car. And I just want to say today it was a huge, great crowd. I think it was the best crowd in 10 years or something here. It was awesome. We appreciate, they came to see you. But I think also, just to show you how important Sonoma is, a lot of our sponsors are here. Big deal for us. All the people here, Dollar General was here, Stanley was here, obviously with M&M's, so we had a great crew there with the Crispy Group, and then we had FedEx people here too. So it's a big deal for us, and Toyota for us is just a great partner. They're here in California, TRD is, and so I just say for the whole day, just to sum it up, Lord's blessed us with a great experience today. It was a great sports story, I think, and I was thrilled to be a part of it.
Outstanding. We're going to open the floor to questions. If you can raise your hand, we'll get a wireless mic to you. If you can state your name and affiliation as well, we'll start here in the front.
Hi, Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Kyle, Joe mentioned the team being a bit concerned about this race for you. Honestly, how much were you feeling working that clutch during the race, and how does your foot feel now?
Yeah, it's not so much the clutch, actually. We don't use the clutch at all, but just to take off. We don't even need it to shift, so it was really the brakes. The brake pedal was really hard. I'm a left foot braker, so every corner that you pretty much brake into, I say that wrong. There's getting up the hills a little bit of brakes, but the most brakes you see is turn 4, turn 7, and turn 11. And you see over 1,000 pounds of brake pressure. I don't know what that equates to if you were doing a leg press, but it's a lot. The foot definitely tells me it's a lot. So it got sore on Friday. It got to about a 7 on a 1 to 10 of a pain scale, but I went home and iced it and did everything that I normally do to try to cut the pain out, and it worked. I came back on Saturday. I felt really good getting up in the morning on Saturday morning and qualifying. It was no issue for me. And then did it again last night, although I didn't have any issue. I just did it again last night as a safety thing to get myself prepared, no different than any other athlete would, I think, to prepare for a game or to prepare for a race. And so smart thing to do, and it made it through today. That's all that mattered. I knew it was going to get painful, and I was going to have to power through it. Kind of there towards the middle end that it kind of started to cross my mind. But when you got fresh tires and 7 laps to go, and you see the checker flag waiting for you, you forget about all those things.
We'll go over here to Bob, and we'll come across the room.
Bob Pockers, ESPN. I have 2 questions. First for Kyle. The way we're looking at it, we're kind of roughly a 14th place finish the rest of the way to probably get you around 30th. How feasible is it, and can you kind of compare your outlook now compared to when you left Michigan 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I certainly it's feasible. There's no reason why it shouldn't be. This team is good enough to be that way, and I should be good enough to be that way. I've certainly put us in a hole bigger than it should have been. At Dover and at Michigan, those were entirely just my fault, obviously, and I gotta be better than that. So we can't have any more of those. That's obvious, but we just got to be smart about how we race. And from here now having a win, obviously I think that that treats us a little bit better. We don't have to race as hard for a win. We don't have to put ourselves in a bad spot when we're running third, fourth, or fifth to try to get that victory. You know, we can run third, fourth, or fifth, and that's a good day for us. That'll be just fine. So we just need to be able to do that, and I feel like Adam Stevens builds good enough race cars for me that I can do that with. Joe Gibbs Racing does. TRD builds some good engines for us. So I've got no worries on that front.
And for Adam, as a team, you know that most likely you'd be able to run at least for the team championship. But if that's the only thing that you were running for in the last 10 races, would it be fun, or would it be a little hollow?
It would certainly be hollow. You know, this sport's built around competitive drivers. So, you know, I come to work every day to do my best to get Kyle in victory lane and to get Kyle a championship. So if it's just an owner's championship, you know, we're going to battle as hard as we would battle, but it would certainly be hollow.
Brian Arnold, Fairfield Daily Republic. Two quick questions. First, you and your brother go 1-2, first time ever in the Sprint Cup Series. What's your quick feelings on that?
That's really cool. I seen him back there battling with Boyer, and I was like, come on, man, get the second. Because I knew if he got the second, he might be my blocker, you know, for everybody behind me. I figured he'd take the brunt of it. He's got a couple wins, you know, but I'm sure that's not the way he thought about it. He thought about coming up and challenging me for a win.
He talked about that.
Yeah, it's I'm a Taurus, so I'm bullheaded and you know, hard-nosed competitor or whatever. I don't even know what he is. He's in August, so you would think that that he might have a better sense, but that's fine. It's a racer, and the both of us, and how we were raised by our dad. But really cool to come home 1-2 today, especially on a road course. You know, I mean, we grew up racing on ovals, but you know, to do that here on a road course, I think that's just a true testament to our father and what everything he's done for us over the years to get us to the point in which we're at. And to have both Busch brothers be as good as we are, and to be winning drivers on the Sprint Cup Tour each year is certainly a true testament to our family.
And the second question is, after you got those fresh tires, when did it go through your mind that you knew you had that shot to get Jimmy?
When Boyer got together with Kenseth, and then I think I got Logano right there in turn 3 as well too, and I got somebody off of 3A getting down into 4. Maybe it was Jeff Gordon. And I was already, I don't remember if I was second off of turn 7 or where I was or what, but when I got to second, I was like, there's a legitimate shot here, you know? And then we went through turn 9. I was sideways through turn 9. It was nasty. And then I was sideways through turn 10. I about went off in turn 10. But Jimmy was the same as I was. I think it was just dirty racetrack from all the guys scrubbing their tires and putting the marbles off their tires onto the racetrack. And we all just went through there like ice. And so I looked in my mirror, and I'm like, man, did I go through there as bad as I did? And I looked in my mirror, and everybody was sliding all over. So I was like, okay, we're good. It's okay. Everybody's on the same boat. But I just knew to keep working at it, keep pushing, and keep hitting my marks. And like we said earlier, you know, our car was really good on the short run, so we knew we could get up there and challenge Jimmy. And I just knew I needed to get there quick and get there before anybody was on my bumper, so I wasn't pressured.
Okay, we're going to send it upstairs for a couple of questions.
Jim Utter from the Charlotte Observer. Bob touched on part of this, Kyle, but when you first received NASCAR's decision on what waivers you were and were not going to get after returning, how did you view the two requirements you needed to make the chase, a win and the top 30 in points? Did you see one as more difficult as the other, and now that you have one and not the other, do you approach the rest of the regular season differently?
You know, I was very grateful to NASCAR to give us the opportunity to be able to have something to chase after and to give us a chance to race ourselves into the chase. And, you know, we just need to be able to do that, and hopefully we can. It's certainly not going to be easy, but we didn't expect it to be, and it never is. So for me, for our team, we've got to it does now change how we race the rest of the year the rest of the regular season to get ourselves in the chase, because we have a win now. I figured the win was going to be the hardest thing to get, but you know, now that that's here and it's out of the way, we can now work towards being able to get ourselves top 30, and then you know, just get some good solid finishes. And like I told Bob, you know, when we're running third, fourth, or fifth, we don't have to take that chance of going for a win and having an opportunity of crashing or something like that. We can't just sit there and sit still and be able to finish third, fourth, or fifth. And you get those kinds of finishes, and the points are going to add up, and you're going to be fine making the chase.
Okay, ready to keep it upstairs for another question?
Jeff Gluck from USA Today. You have 10 races left to get this done. Are you thinking that this is going to come all the way down to Richmond? Are you viewing it like that? How much will you look at the points and what you have to do each week?
I'm going to try not to look at it. I know it's going to take 9-10 weeks. It's going to take the full brunt of it. It's not going to happen in 1 week. You know, that's not how this business ever works. You know, you certainly got to play it out all the way through, and that's one of the things that maybe I haven't been so good at over the years. But you know, you've got to have that focus for not just 1 week, but for a long time. And 10 weeks is a long time. So we just got to do our job. Both Adam and I, we can't screw up. I can't screw up, and Adam's got to be smart on the box as well too, make some good calls, and you know, we made some really good ones today. So there's no reason why we can't put ourselves in a good position to win some more.
Donna Beth Wildman, Benicia Herald. This is for Coach Gibbs. I saw you in Daytona after the crash. You were really disappointed and you handled it well. But talk to me about the emotional change from there to today.
Well, as I said, I think it's a real testimony to Kyle. I went over to his house, saw him there in Daytona, but I went over to his house after the foot surgery, and he's sitting there, and it was the day after, and I figured he's going to be drugged up and everything, you know, probably wouldn't recognize me. I go in there, he's wide awake, you know, he's bouncing around, and then he starts wiggling his toes, and I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Well, it doesn't hurt." I says, "Did they tell you could do that?" And he goes, "No." I said, "Well, what are you doing?" But he was off all the pain medication, and he was roaring from the start. So I felt like, you know, he handled that extremely well to come back out of that. We got a great doctor, Dr. Anderson, with his foot, did a great job for us, and Bill Heisel was running around here too, looking after Kyle. So we had a lot of people there looking after him. The one thing I would say about our sport, though, when we're talking about staying in the top 30, give you an example. Michigan is a good example of what can happen in our sport. We restarted that race. We're running third, and there's a freak shower in 4. And Kyle happened to be the only guy trying to pass somebody, and we wind up wrecking. This is extremely hard to average what we got to average. It's a tough thing to do. And so that's the way I look at it. And it's extremely hard. I mean, last year, raced ourselves to death, and Kyle averaged 17th last year. So it shows you how hard this is. So we got a tough assignment. But I think Adam and Kyle, we're going to go after it every week, and we'll see what happens.
We're going to go back to Bob.
Bob Poppers, ESPN. For Kyle, you're going back to Daytona next week. Does this win maybe make going back to there any easier, just from kind of a mental and emotional standpoint?
No, I don't think so. I don't think the win has any prerogative on Daytona. I think Daytona is Daytona. You know, we fly down there and we roll into that racetrack, and it's going to be different than I've ever probably gone into that racetrack, no doubt. I don't know what that's going to be yet. But, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting out there on the racetrack and, you know, attacking that demon, per se, you know, and just being able to get out there and get back in the draft and get back in the pack and just work myself to having a good race car for Sunday night, you know, and that's going to be the thing is that's another opportunity for us to win a race. Now it's an opportunity for everybody. Everybody goes there thinking they've got a chance to win that race. So you're not just racing against, you know, here 3, 4, 5 guys because of road course experience, but when you go to Daytona, you're racing against all 42 other guys and girls. So it's certainly going to be a challenge, but, you know, let's go get it. Why not?
We'll come back here to Phil.
Phil Barber, Press Democrat. Adam, obviously this is a team sport, but what does this win mean to you personally?
Well, that's a tough question. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. You know, I'm so focused on getting this team in the chase, but it's big. You know, Joe and JD and everybody gave me a chance in this opportunity to come crew chief a Cup car, and that's not something that anybody can take lightly. So, you know, to kind of get in victory lane and get that monkey off your back, especially under the adverse circumstances at Sonoma of all places with everything Kyle's gone through. You know, it tells you that there's no quit in myself, and obviously no quit in this team, and you know, even to another level in Kyle Busch. So I can't say enough about everything that he put in to getting back here and getting ready and giving all of us this opportunity.
Kyle, Adam, Coach, we knew the resiliency of this team was going to be strong, but congratulations on the win, and thanks again for bringing dessert.
Yeah, I wanted to say, hey, JD and everybody back home, we appreciate everybody back there. Sometimes we don't talk enough about all the people back home and all the hard work they're doing and preparing the cars and everything. These guys will tell you that, and so it's a total team effort for us, and I don't think I emphasize that. I'd say a big thanks to them. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Part of the winners thing this year is Twitter chat, so we have to do that right now. We're just going to sit right here. And then, Adam, we're going to take you to do the NASCAR production.